对啊，
那我们今天好，我跟你们一起来为草莓加个油吧。
好，加油！
All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to game number 2 here of the first best of 2 series between World Elite Academy and Invictus Gaming. I am Reed Rapid Melton. Of course, with me is NeroIntegrate. We'll be your shoutcasters for tonight. We want to welcome you back to game number 2. Of course, we'll have that coming up your way here in just a minute. And the Chinese commentators right now, they're talking about how their picks from game number 1 may not have been quite as accurate as they would have wanted. Every single one of them picked a 2-0 for IG, and I think a lot of other viewers did too. But with World Elite Academy coming out strong in game number 1, we'll see if they can replicate that here coming up in a minute. Of course, as we look towards game number 2, one of the big things I'm going to be looking for is IG's just cohesiveness. What they did in the early phase was just like, all right, if we can stay out, like just wait out World Elite Academy, not lose the early game, we'll come back in the late game and have a stronger team. But World Elite Academy just defied all stereotypes. They said, look, you think that we're weak in the early game and that we have to win it there? We can win it in the mid game. And they won a huge dragon fight. They actually took dragon number 1, and then the second dragon fight was actually a little bit more even. IG actually won that, got the dragon. And they're thinking, hey, we got a big mid-game lead. This crushes World Elite Academy in their tracks. But WEA Academy kept pressing in onto turrets, onto global advantages, and on Dragon number 3, that is where the game completely turned around. With SMLZ left free to DPS from the back, World Elite Academy would win a team fight that will snowball into a Baron, into 2 second-tier turrets in the top and mid lane, another few kills, and ultimately, second Baron into what would win them the game. Incredible play by not only SMLZ from the AD carry role, but you have to look to Khan in the top lane. And even Mickey got to some extent with his split pushing, but Khan honestly, was just way too OP up top. Even knowing like when to leave lane, when to come back in to the duo jungle into the 1v2 lanes, just perfect rotations all around. World Elite Academy, they're looking like a whole nother team, and IG still suffering from many of their shortcomings. We'll see if they can make those back up here in game number 2.
So Khan even got the MVP for his play on Aurelia in the previous game, so that's really, really impressive. He got so many picks out of nowhere. The last one on the Yongsu was just the perfect one. He killed this Trundle without anyone even noticing because the directed camera didn't even show to us, and that led them to winning the game a little bit early, and that's really good for them. So World Elite Academy, they may want to switch up their comp right now though, because I'm quite sure that IG will go for something else, and maybe the bans won't change, but IG will go for a different comp that will counter the comp that World Elite Academy played with. So actually seeing that Khan is doing so well at this Jax, he's a beast on it, so they ban it. But then he picks an Aurelia and he's so good on it once again. I think that this Aurelia will get denied this time around, and Khan will have to show us something else.
It's going to be interesting to see as we now are going to hop into picks and bans. Biggest thing for me here coming into picks and bans, like you said, is that top lane. Khan had 3 bans against him last game. He had Kale, Jax, and a Yasuo. Of course, Gragas was also banned, so big plays being made up there. Grabs the Aurelia instead of the Shyvana, which would have been kind of obvious. Goes for the Aurelia, and the Trundle pick, first Trundle pick in a long time for LPL. Didn't work out. So we're gonna look for different picks, but still with Yongsu, he's filling in for PDD. Keep in mind the split. This PDD did retire. He's got some big shoes to fill in a couple ways, and now Khan is, well, he's filling them better.
Okay, so there's a little bit of a conversation right there in the World Elite Academy. And apparently they can't hear themselves or something. But yeah, the bans are going on, and there's a Lee Sin ban coming out from IG, so no Lee Sin for Soist. And actually from the Aurelia and the Zed in the middle lane, like this Lee Sin was the least impactful of them, in my opinion. he missed some important cues, he missed some important kicks. So I think that this Irelia ban would have been a little bit better for them, and maybe they would try to secure this Lee Sin as a first pick for themselves. But yeah, Illusion decides to play kind of a different jungler. And we have a Thresh last ban, so still Irelia is a possibility for Khan.
Well, it's not even just Irelia. Literally every top laner's open. You gotta ban Gragas here. Like, you can't let Yongsu get his Gragas. Like, that's his thing. Like, Gragas is his jam. If you don't ban it out, then he's just gonna go pick it every single time. And even if it's not necessarily the greatest pick, he's so good at it in almost every lane. And it's almost guaranteed to first pick Gragas. Or Lulu, though. Is that... I mean, we didn't see Lulu picked or banned in game number 1. So, what changed here, Nero?
Well... a little bit changed. We'll see in the picks, of course. And it's kind of hard to remember the bans because, of course, the picks you will. But not the bans, actually. But yeah, Lulu, I think that it got banned in the previous game.
Coming in here, game 2.
He goes for this Lulu instead of Gragas. That's the most interesting thing.
Yeah, so we know that Gragas is still out there. Yongsu can get it if he wants to send that Lulu into mid or support, but chances are that is just a straight-up Lulu top lane pick, and World Elite Academy actually calling IG's bluff, giving them the champion they've wanted for so long, but not knowing that they actually will not take it. So big play being made there by World Elite Academy, and that will give them the opportunity to say, hey, if anything you can do, we can do better. They take away Kid's Kog'Maw. They take away Illusion's Jarvan the 4th. And so now World Elite Academy are saying, we're just going to play the straight-up IG comp. See how it works for us.
Alright, so there is this movement speed boost on Lulu already, so they don't need to pick the Zillion for the middle lane to back up Skana.
I like that combo. That combo was cool. It didn't win, but it was still really cool. And Zatai played Zillion like a monster. So I want to see this Kog'Maw pick. It's gonna be good in lane versus or I want to see the Corki pick. It's gonna be good in lane versus Kog'Maw, but we're just gonna see another 1v2 again. I can almost promise you, World Elite Academy are gonna look for the same thing. They tried a 2v2 versus a Corki. That is not going to be in their favor.
Right, so actually I preferred the Zillion in the comp in the previous game because there was this Kog'Maw on IG's lineup, so it's really good to have a revive on Kog'Maw because he's so immobile. Plus having this Skana back then would have been a really good thing, but actually so it's 100% sure that I will not go for this Zillion at this stage. And on the other hand, once again, we have this Irelia.
Yeah, Khan gets his Irelia, and there's no Gragas pick or ban. The big thing to notice is that the Irelia pick probably signals a 2v1, just because you don't want to have Irelia in a lane versus Lulu. But as IG, actually, Kid is hovering over Shyvana. So that could actually signal the mid lane Lulu. Some great mind games here from IG saying, look, we can run this Lulu almost anywhere they want it. Oh, wait a second. That's a lock-in on Janna. Kitties.
Chris, Ardent Sensor, please pick up the new item on the support.
Oh my gosh. Alright, so this is IG pulling out some crazy new shenanigans. I don't think we saw any of these champions in game 1 for IG. So they've gone with a totally different lineup. Looking to throw off World Elite Academy. And, are World Elite Academy going to throw a little bit of a monkey wrench in there, hovering over an Ahri?
Okay, so actually talking about this Gragas, I wanted to say that this is going to be a Gragas support in the end. But look at that, this Janna. Actually, I told it about it like 3 weeks ago when the changes to the support items appeared on the PBE. But actually now it is live in the LPL finally. So you have this Ardent Sensor. So with a shield, especially from Janna, it gives your AD carry the bonus attack damage, bonus movement speed, bonus attack speed, a shield. It provides everything. Plus you have a lot of peel with the Monsoon, and there's the heal, so you can AoE give the attack speed to your lineup, of course, too.
But keep in mind, they have a Corki AD carry, so Corki does not scale with attack speed. Like, you're gonna build primarily like spellcasting items on him, but he doesn't build Blade of the Ruined King traditionally, because once again, he's not an auto attack based AD carry. And he doesn't, and Bloodthirster's been nerfed, so man, this is a weird lineup from IG. They've got Skarner jungle, you've got Lulu mid, and you've got a Corki AD carry with a Janna support. I don't know about this, guys. This is going to be one heck of a team composition from IG, and they're going up a team comp which is either theirs or very strong from game one on World Elite Academy. Of course, I'm showing you guys the standings while we get ready for the game. World Elite Academy, they're tied with Young Glory in last place. See if they can overcome that. Actually, they can't overtake Invictus Gaming, but they can come dangerously close, only 2 points behind.
Okay, so that's actually another thing that I said I talked about. IG will switch their lineup completely, and there's actually a big surprise right there with this change.
Yeah, to be honest, I am not a big fan here of the Janna, but we're gonna go ahead and hop into the game. Game number 2 in this best of 2 series, first series of the night between Invictus Gaming and World Elite Academy. Of course, IG, your team on the left in the blue, World Elite Academy in the red on the right. Up 1 game in this best of 2. IG still looking to bring it back.
I can die in peace if I see the Ardent Sensor coming out in the pro play, because Afromu like killed me completely with saying that Ardent Sensor will be completely useless. No one is going to buy that item. And if Kitties does that, I'll be grateful till the end of my life.
Okay, to be fair, there's a couple of champions Ardent Sensor works very well on. One of them is Alistar. When you have an area of effect heal, you give a huge attack speed, move speed buff to your entire team. And that's pretty good, but oh, might see a little bit of it caught out of position here. SMLZ starts off with the Voidoo's, but you can't run from Illusion. He's gonna stun you out here if he gets that last auto attack. There it is, forced the flash and the summoner to heal. SMLZ not where he needed to be.
And once again, starting off a game without 2 defensive summoner spells, but actually this time around it is World Elite Academy without these ones. And that is kicking off pretty bad for them, because it's a Kog'Maw. He needs the defensive spells to stay alive.
And then it's actually something that we didn't point out about game number 1 too much. We touched on it, not having either summoner spell didn't actually hurt Zatai all that much, so a huge credit to him for his laning without those summoner spells very early on. But this time around, it's a little bit of a bigger deal. Trading, of course, much more active in the 2v2 lane. Kid will have that small advantage. Of course, he'll have the disadvantage of having a Corki Janna lane versus Kog'Maw Leona. So, see how that works out. Just saying, the Leona not really going to have too many opportunities to engage, just thanks to how well Janna can disengage, but I don't know, that is not a lane I necessarily would have expected to see. Janna does not seem to play a whole lot.
Kitties is once again on the zoning right there, so deep in the jungle of his enemies. It's incredible, this Janna. Actually, from what I have seen in the LPL this far, it doesn't even have to be a Janna Corki lane. It can be the roaming Janna or Janna helping out in the jungle or whatever. So, well, actually coming back right there, right now. But yeah, still coming back to Ardent Sensor and Alistar. That is completely true. It is such a huge pushing power. It gives the attack speed even to the minions.
Yeah,
so
but
I, even in a solo queue game, went for the Banner of Command and went with a huge minion with a lot of attack speed and pushed the towers myself. It is incredible. And well, also, the thing is that Janna can use Eye of the Storm on the turret, so it gives you the attack damage and attack speed on your turret. It's
alright, to be honest, you're not gonna... If you see an Ardent Sensor, it's gonna have to be as much later. But okay, wait, what does Kid do? Alright, Illusion's there, but you've got the support right there in time. Khan's actually gonna get out of this one alive, just barely alive. He's able to escape with his life, and now look at Illusion onto Soas. IG going for the crazy dives, now with a TP bat. Wait, Khan?
Why?
Khan TP back to the turret before he healed.
Oh my god, and there's teleport.
He didn't heal in the back, and now there's Yongsu. This is going to be the worst turret dive of IG's life. Khan still staying alive, but gets auto-attacked down there. Yongsu and Kitty still very, very low, and IG they don't die. I'm impressed. I thought that was going to go horribly, but why did Khan TP to the turret without healing? I mean, I know he needed to be there, but it wasn't that important.
Talking about the chaos in the previous game, it's nothing compared to what happened right here. And if this game is going to be the same for the whole time, it is going to be the most incredible game of the LPL in this split.
Oh my gosh. All right, so IG pull off a very well-coordinated bottom lane dive off of a little bit of a missed TP from Khan. So pressure kept on him. But of course, all during that time, of course, Mickey is left to kind of his own, down about 10 CS in lane. The biggest difference, of course, is that Kog'Maw kind of got some lane into himself. SMLZ is going to be up top lane now versus Yongsu, a matchup that he'll be totally comfortable with.
Right, so Kitty's actually, I wanted to say that he was tanking up the turret when they were diving it for the first time, and he almost went down to that, so that
Khan
could have been a bad thing.
Looking again for the dive there, very, very low. Gets the blade surge back, he's running away from Illusion, and there's Kid, forced the Valkyrie away with less than 100 hit points. These dives, very, very narrowly working out for IG.
But this time around, Kid got the kill, and the previous time he went for it, he even burned his flash and didn't get anything in exchange.
Dive here onto Yongsu, somewhat less effective than the Khan dives have been. World Elite Academy, instead of looking for the kills on champions, they'll probably be looking for those kills on turrets. Unfortunately enough, Yongsu walks back to lane, and that could signal Soest back for another gank up top.
Yeah, but IG, they're going for the kills on the bottom lane where there's just Khan. If they take him down, they might have a very easy dragon later on. So, World Elite Academy, they have to look out for that, with Soest being around the top lane. Because if this jungler appears there, with Illusion being around this dragon, this is definitely going to be an easy objective in favor of IG.
Well, to be honest, World Elite Academy have not had an easy time with that dragon, both in the pit and in the top lane. Really no pressure on Yongsu. He's just sitting up top lane farming things away. Enough pressure put onto Khan to push him out of lane. He'll be walking into the jungle, most likely to do those wolves or just hit the mid lane, relieve some pressure from Mickey God.
Alright, so Khan, he's actually not even sticking to the bottom lane, trying to go for a gank on Sutai. And coming back.
Interesting to see the ward coverage, or actually the lack thereof. I haven't really seen too much around that, mostly just standard warding through the lower half of the map. Of course, you don't need to ward for a 2v1 lane up top when it's just Kog'Maw AFK farming, unless he's scared of getting ganked up there, and really I don't think that was too big of a possibility. SMLZ hasn't really shown up for these fights, but we really haven't touched on this mid lane matchup, Zatai versus Mickey God. The Ahri pickup is not really working, as you can see. Zatai up about 10 CS, has the aggressive advantage, and Ahri still without a big second completed item.
Yeah, but once again it actually is about the roams right here, because then it was TF for Zatai and he could have roamed around the map, and now we have Ahri with the ultimate roaming around the map easily and Lulu trying to follow it. Well, in the previous game I haven't seen too many roams from Zatai, and right now Mickey is getting a little bit shut down in the lane, so we might actually not see any roams from him too.
Yeah, Mickey has just not really shown up at all. As an Ahri, especially over Lulu, you're going to get pushed in unless you just dedicate yourself to wave clear. And that's already a little bit of a rough spot for Ahri to be in, because she wants to be roaming and killing the side lanes over and over again. Now, Khan's been dove several times here. We'll see if he plays this vulnerably, but I think he realizes he is pretty safe for now up under his second tier turret.
Alright, so 2-0 in favor of IG. They will be taking this dragon. I don't think that World Elite Academy can actually contest for that. And World Elite Academy once again and once again and once again talking about how they are the team that needs to win the lanes. They need to get the advantage early to win the game actually. And they are letting the enemies get the advantage themselves. So it is not really gonna work out for them. This time around they have the Kog'Maw for the late game, but do they really want to do this?
Well, of course, the big deal is IG picking up that dragon, so they'll actually have a 3,000 gold lead here. Of course, they picked up the first turret. Oh, here comes Illusion. They're looking for a kill on a Khan. Flash in there for the Impale. With Blade Surge on out. Valkyrie's going to counter that one out. Blade Surge back. Wait, what? Oh, man. Khan tries for the jukes, but can't quite find his way out of that. He was trying to get to the back of the team and then flash over that Wraith wall, but couldn't get in range of the wall and didn't want to fail flash.
Yeah, still a good try. Managed to keep them there like 3 or 4 seconds more than it was supposed to be.
Oh, catch out on the Zatai is not going to land. It was close, but yeah, Mickey's been having the struggles here. Won't have that Athene's and Holy Grail for a long time, and it's continuing. Lose out in CS, not only versus Zatai, but he's losing out in global objectives. Now 2 turrets at a dragon. Favor of IG.
Right, so, well, maybe not. Let's not talk about this Ardent Sensor anymore since it's not even gonna come out. But I actually just want to point out that Illusion, he could get the stuns a little bit more quickly with that.
Well, the question you have to ask yourself is why IG pick all these ships? Oh, the charm lands. All right, well, there's only so much you can do. Zatai is gonna get double ulted there in the mid lane. Pretty far up there without a whole lot of ward coverage, and he gets taken out again in a very good gank by Sois. So Illusion takes that opportunity, runs some interference through his own jungle, run away from top lane, and actually just put a lot of pressure out on the map. He was top, now he's mid, and probably will not be able to do too much to Mickey other than just put some extra ward coverage without having to worry about his pressure.
Alright, so World Elite Academy still just farming it up in the top lane, and they're actually developing a little bit of a lead right there, so it pays off by a little bit. But still, IG having the advantage, and that's what worries me the most, because we have seen World Elite Academy lose multiple games by giving the early lead to the enemies so easily.
Rotations were, of course, the strength for World Elite Academy in Game 1. And really, if you look at Khan, look at where Khan is. He's back almost in his own base. He's been focused. He's been crushed. And IG just let him have that champion and said, look, we're going to give you Aurelia, and then we're just going to dive you over and over again. They made him go 0-3 in lane. But if you actually look at the CS count, he's ahead in CS over Yongsu, who will, of course, be ahead in gold, but that's basically just off those global objectives.
Well, he's trying as hard as he can to be useful later on in the fights.
Oh, pull back underneath turret. Zatai's gonna get all in here, forcing that ult, but Mickey just ults straight into a Skarner. Forces the flashback out, Mickey. Valkyrie in from Kid, but he's diving underneath that mid lane turret. And that is how hard Kitties has to work to save Kid. Like, the amount of work Kitties put in right there. Kid was trying to kill himself as hard as he possibly could, and Kitties just like, nah, dog, I got this. So it's very low. The Golden Aegis dive through for Yongsu. Crushes in there and takes out Sois, but holy hell, IG just do dive all day long.
Kitty's knocking up Sois mid-jump right there. That gave them the kill. That was so perfect on this Janna play. On the tornado. I don't even...
Man, Kitty's in man mode right now. That Janna play was impressive. Not even just the save on a Kid. Like, literally, how hard do you have to work as a support to keep your AD carry from dying when they're flashing not only into an enemy team, but under the turret? Had the knock up to stop the damage down onto Kid, had the Monsoon to knock him back away, and had the Summoner heal from Kid. Let him use that to get the extra mobility to survive. Man, that bottom lane from IG just showing up.
Yeah, and World Elite Academy, they got a kill in the middle lane underneath the turret onto Zatai. which was a little bit of a sign of a comeback, and now they lose it so badly in the middle. And once again, they can't really do anything. And look at that, Kitties will be looking for a blue steal against
Kitties.
Mickey and UJ.
I don't think that was really ever going to work, but he does put on enough pressure to stop it from going down. So Kitty secures that steal. Oh, wait, does he? Where's the blue? Okay, yeah, it went on to Zatai. So IG do steal that buff away, man. Kitties. That is the manliest Janna I have seen in a very long time. Of course, it's the only Janna I've seen in a very long time. Kitty's making it work.
Yeah, and I was actually worried that Zatai can go in for the kills right there because he was really close and it would actually make a little bit of sense, but it was just an interrupt on the blue buff. They stole it successfully and that's really good for them. Oh, and look at that, the gank in the top.
Not sure why there was such a big dive backwards. Flash, of course, away from IG. To be honest, Conch just die over and over again to IG. Problem being, of course, that he's not worth any gold. IG just blew everything but the kitchen sink on just killing Khan. And they're not going to do Baron off of it. So really, what advantage did IG get off of that? Like, they're probably going to lose Dragon, but instead of taking Dragon, will the lead choose to chase out Kid, which might lose them that global objective?
Yeah, it was a bad decision with chasing the AD carry that has the biggest gap closer of them all. Is not the best
Probably
idea.
not going to work out.
Right, so IG now coming back from this kill in the top lane, taking the dragon. Mickey was there, but he can't do anything. Plus, they spotted them on a ward, and Kitties once again man mode.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, Kitties. Like, to be honest, that was maybe more Mickey God than anything else. He's just like, I want to kill you. Kitties just a little bit out of position, and of course, charming performance from Mickey God. It'll be his second kill of the game and the second kill of his team. Or lead off the back of that pick on to Kitties will take down their first turret of the game.
Yeah, so 6-2. World Elite Academy finally getting a kill, but it was on a support. Not too worth it once again. But well, lost the dragon, losing the turrets. Now getting one in exchange, and still the 7k gold difference. It's still the Kog'Maw. Okay, he can be the hyper carry, but what if he gets shut down so early in the game? And you said that this is not gonna pay off until they win at 15 minutes, and it's 16 minutes, and they are winning so much, IG.
We can't really argue with that. It's been night and day difference from IG. New champions, new team comps, new everything. New playstyle from IG as well. Heavy dive with Janna. There to save the guy that's diving in. Previously it was Kid. And a great save by Kitties. And we'll have to see if this is the pick that IG are looking for. Charm lands onto Zatai. Nothing coming of it. A little bit of a false alarm there in the mid lane.
Yep, but it's still going to be a little bit of a push. Time by time, and IG are gonna get it easily. There's no way that World Elite Academy can try and contest that. Well, they can go for a charm, but Mickey has just half of his health. He's gonna go down immediately.
Solar Flare to start the fight on as Zatai gets charmed up and destroyed. Huge phosphorus bomb there. He's gonna scout things out, but yeah, there's nowhere for Yongsu to go. Like, he tried to dive in. It's just like, I mean, I can stay here, but there's no backup at all. IG, they lose Illusion. Lose the tie there. And hopefully Illusion doesn't put too much of an emphasis on the lose in his name, as it does look like IG will be losing their mid turret as well.
Well, they don't have the minions though. World Elite Academy and the rest of IG's lineup will be coming back right now, so can't really get anything off that, but 2 kills is definitely a good thing for them. They will get something in exchange, and Mickey, if he gets fed of all people in World Elite Academy's lineup, he can try to work something out. Of course,
I certainly hope
SMLZ.
What were you gonna say about SMLZ? I feel like he's sort of like the last hope here for World Elite Academy.
The bad thing for World League Academy is, okay, they could have lost the early game, but Khan got shut down so much. He's like the key member, and at the beginning of the best of two series overall, we said that Khan is going to be the big thing for World League Academy because he's going to be better than Youngsu, but he got got so shut down this game that he can't really do much, and now World League Academy are finding themselves in a tough spot. But
big pick there. Kitty's gonna go in there. Look at that grab from Illusion. Gets a nice pick there, but look at Mickey. He's just kiting backwards. Illusion is not tanky enough, but Kid's got some free DPS to deal down there. He's gonna flash back in right into the stun from Khan. Kid is not playing an AD carry. He's playing a big...
the burst.
And now, Khan, though, back in the back, though. Youngsu saved that fight for IG. And it actually winds up in IG's favor as they trade 3 for 4.
The Cathian surprise got kitties too, and now Khan could have chased Zetai right there. He had just 200 of his health. World Elite Academy, it was supposed to be IG's fight from the very beginning, to be honest, so it's not the worst case scenario for them that they got 3 kills off that. But still, they could have got so much more. But actually, Kid, with this over-aggressive play, going down to Khan right there, that was a misplay. And that's the AD carries in China. They are so good, but their positioning sometimes is just horrible.
Well, now we're going to watch this right now. Kid, he finds some extra damage. Okay, so Kiddies gets caught. Kid is going to die, but there's the save from Lulu there in the backline. And now look at Kid. Kid's got some nice opportunity, but Solar Flare just destroys his positioning. He's able to Valkyrie back out there. He's like, all right, my time in this fight is done. But now look at SMLZ. He's going to try to come in here and get some damage down. Finds Kid there, destroys him. But the dive in from Youngsu, just way too much damage, too much pressure. And look at that Acathian surprise there. That actually wasn't a Cathian surprise. That was Zetai's Glitter Lance.
Yeah, it was Glitter Lance. 400 health gone from them. That was the big surprise because I think that they could have still pulled it off, but they lost so much health so quickly, and I didn't even know what was going on right there.
Exactly. I don't think anybody expected that burst damage from Zetai. He doesn't even have death cap completed, and that was pretty ridiculous. To be honest, though, that was mostly Illusion not knowing who to pull in. I think he grabbed. They caught. Who did they catch out of position? They caught Mickey. Well, Mickey caught Kitties, and then Mickey wound up getting in a little bit of a rough position too. So it's all about the pick potential. Mickey's got that charm. It's been working out very well. But of course, Illusion has Suppress, which works out a little bit better.
Alright, so now they're once again on the defense of the turret. And will it once again be the dive from IG, or actually the catch from World Elite Academy, because it was just the knock up into a charm the previous time. And Mickey once again looking for a situation. He gets Youngsu, not the best target.
Solar Flare lands in the mid lane on to Kitties, but no follow-up. And that's a big cooldown that's just not up as cooldowns are want to be.
Yeah, it was Kitties. It was the most squishy champ right there in the lineup of IG. It was a good pick, but there was no follow-up because Mickey just used everything on Youngsu, and he was out of position.
Now, Dragon being started here by IG. Should be able to take it down pretty free and clear. World Elite Academy. I mean, after game number 1, I definitely we leave. I'm a we leaver. But, I don't know. I'm going to have to have some we leaving intensify as this game continues to progress. A lot of damage on the Youngsu, but he's pretty tanky. Mickey God still dealing that damage. Looking for a Deathfire Grasp after that Morello Nomicon. It's CDRE. All that cooldown reduction being built up.
Yeah, that's going to be a lot of damage later on, but can they pull it off?
I've never seen that Ari build before where you go for double CDR items early. I believe that's max CDR if you want to buy a Brilliance Elixir. Should be about 35%. With both those items completed. Engaged there onto Illusion.
So low.
teleport in. There's Yongsu, but he TP's way underneath that turret. And oh, now here's Mickey God, lands the taunt on Yongsu, forces that flash out. Solar Player's gonna land in there, doesn't quite stun out to tie. Oh, but look at the overdive there by Khan. Just goes way too deep. And of course, we're gonna give a shout out to Illusion for that one, dragging him all the way home there with the Impale. Yeah, continuing in there. Oh, there it is, the tie, last tick. On to UJ. Takes him out.
Flash Ignite. What an aggressive play. And Zetai actually, he hit the glitter lance, the incredible one. Everyone thought that the fight just disengaged completely, but UJ got a glitter lance out of nowhere and he almost went down. Then the Ignite took him down in the end. But they got a perfect beginning of the fight with Kid going down so low. Then Yongsu teleported in such a bad place. Once again, going down so low. But they couldn't actually get the kill. And then the Wild Grow saving the day. And IG in the end, they are taking the kills anyway.
IG coming out ahead in just about every respect. Looking for a pick though on as the tie. Missing everything. Mickey just can't find his opportunity. And now it's Soist who's going to die for it. Mickey God. Oh my gosh. Looking like a... I don't know. Mickey... I don't know, demigod there. Definitely not perfect. That was a pretty nice setup by Jarvan that just did not pay off.
It might even be an inhibitor turret, and that is going to be a disaster for World Elite Academy. Mickey is trying to go for something, but he gets knocked up and goes down.
That kill's gonna Valkyrie in the middle of the base. Now UJ is gonna be the one to fall out there. Of course, Kog'Maw just very, very low. Makes its way back to base alive. And of course, the same thing for Khan, so it's not the end of the game. But a 2-for-1 exchange, a team fight. Definitely in favor of Invictus
But they didn't
Gaming.
get the turret.
You're just looking for all kinds of optimism here, Nero. Alright,
Well,
they didn't. That's true. Kid did dive into the base and flash in there for the kill, so...
But that's the problem. They actually got the kill on Mickey. But it doesn't matter because your AD carry went down, the guy that is doing the best in your team. So it's still a good exchange for World Elite Academy. And I think that the idea of IG being there was this turret and they didn't get it. So yeah, pretty much in my opinion, World Elite Academy won this trade right here.
It definitely...
Kid once again being reckless with positioning.
Yeah, Kid, he's been... I want to see one team fight where he Valkyries out. Okay, I think he did that like once around the second tier mid turret. But he's Valkyried in. And just look at Kid's positioning. Alright, there's Mickey God. He's coming in trying to make the hashtag LPL big plays. But you got to keep an eye on to Khan. He's diving in 1v3 and just immediate, crazy, chaotic levels of peel. UJ overdives in there, has no way to make it back out. And Kid, after flashing in, barely dies to Ignite in the back.
So it could have been a 1-for-1, but UJ got pulled so deep because of, I don't know, a flash from Zetai. I don't know what happened there, but it was such a long range E out of nowhere too.
Well, what
And there was
happened
no
there,
flash
Nero?
available for Zetai. I think that Zetai just boosted himself up with the movement speed and having this Janna buff on top of himself. He just went so far away.
That's that Janna buff, man. It's OP. 5% area of effect move speed for your team as long as you're in the area. So it's got a pretty big area too. And could we see Kitties with, I feel like, the first competitive Janna win in LPL in this split?
Yeah, and first Janna play overall, actually. In this split, and SMLZ getting caught. But he stays alive. Not for long,
Kitty's
though.
still very, very low. Gonna get dunked down onto UJ. Just trying to get in there to the fight, but he just can't make it. Stun out there, so is still alive. Gets the flag and drag, but the flame breath from Yongsu takes him down. Now Khan forced the flash underneath his turrets. IG now finally disengaging for another turret of their own, but holy hell, 6, make it 7. Dominant global objective game here. IG now looking to take out Inhibitor number 1.
The good thing for Kid was that SMLZ was a little bit low on health, but I don't know if you have seen it, but Kid once again went for an over-aggressive position. 1v2 versus 2 carries in the World Elite Academy's lineup. He went for Ari and Kog'Maw alone. That could have been a bad thing, but now they will take this Baron most probably without any problems. Just look at where Jarvan is. He's still in the base.
Khan trying to come in here, is trying to stop it. There's the smite. It's good for Illusion, and now it's up to World Elite Academy. It's actually going to be 1 kill picked up already as Leona dives in there. The Academy, they're going to find 1, but can they find what they need to? Dive in from Illusion onto Mickey, trying to keep him out of this fight. Zatai is going to live, but something tells me all the charm lands onto Illusion. Any way to stop him from getting away from this? No. Well, there's the Cataclysm. Right as I said, no, he is not getting away. His papers were denied. It's like, papers, please. Nope, sorry, can't escape that Cataclysm. Big catch once again. And gotta say, I'm impressed by Soist. He is putting up those assist numbers. 8. Most on his team.
But Zatai was actually the focus right there for a long time in the fight, and he is the only one to stay alive in IG's lineup. But a little bit of a throw. I know, because they still got the gold from the Baron.
And just look at this dive in there. Immediately, it's actually Leona to pick up the first kill. Of course, Kid with the counter. But look at SMLZ just blows up Kid. Kid's just like, all right, aggressive positioning time number 2. That time it did not work out. Youngsu ticks down in the back line. Of course, Kog'Maw able to find that kill. And now it's just to pick onto Illusion. Red buff slow. And there's actually the Janna slow from her little tiny tornado. I wish that was actually the reason. I'm trying to make up things. Should make Kitty's Janna look even more spectacular. But it's not hard to do that himself. 2, 3, and 15 assists. He's got a 1 kill short, 1 kill or assist short of perfect KDA in an 18 kill game at 30 minutes.
Okay, so Zatai stayed alive just because he put Wild Growth on himself, which is a little bit of a mistake. It should be on the AD carry, but of course Kid went down as soon as the fight begun. So that wasn't an opportunity. And well, still 11k gold difference, even though they got 4 kills. It doesn't really change anything in the game. They got some turrets, they got some kills. They lost the Baron though, and once again IG is on the aggression. They took down the middle completely. So World Elite Academy will be pushed up by the super minions in the mid. And now IG will kind of have an easy time right there, but there's still the wave clear. World Elite Academy stopping them from taking the turrets with brute force.
No, man. World Elite Academy. There's the Solar Flare. Catches the slow on the Kid, so he's still going to be there in the back. Youngsu
But look at
still has
Illusion.
his ult. Not knowing exactly where to go. Illusion is shoving in there. He's like a super minion. He wants to be one. He's like, I'm not the last of my kind. We're all super minions. He's a little bit of a more super minions. He pushes in not only 1 wave, but 2. Now looking to take down that bottom lane inhibitor. Rax fall for IG, and now it's Youngsu. He's just daring World Elite Academy to try to pick a fight. I do not think they want to go in here. Of course, it's going to be off of a charm. It's going to be off of a Jarvan engage, but nothing quite yet. World Elite Academy just trying to turtle this out.
Okay, so the first thing of all is, of course, that he was pushing up the middle lane, but on the other hand, he was this kind of on the backside of your team. He can just run in, go for the impale, and drag you away. It is really scary. So we're kind of caught in between 2 big forces, and they couldn't really do anything. They still went for engage, failed it a little bit, and now they will lose another inhibitor and another one. And they're trying to defend their Nexus turrets, but it's not gonna work for long.
Oh, there's the attempted engage. It's a nice 2-man dunk, but almost immediately, Sois just gets blown apart there now. Kid just is a giant Corki. He got upgraded to first class there, and he's flying Corki Air all the way deep into World Elite's base. Of course, that's a place he's been several times. A little bit over aggressively, but he's got the rest of his team with him as IG look to crush down their second series, at least tie this up at 1-1. Counter engages here, so it's going to take so much damage. And now 1 more auto attack. Oh, actually the burn the ignite
nice.
sticking him down to tie. Kills him off there, and it's now a 2-4-2. Oh, the tie still very low. Has to be careful here. Glitter Lance able to slow out UJ. Kid, they're looking to get in on here. 1 more kill goes Kid's way. He takes out UJ now. Oh, Mickey's going to get flashed on there. Kid finding another one. It's kill after kill. Incredible performance. UJ Not where he needed to be there. Was the first of many kills. Now all the dive in there, but the Nexus dies in time. It's World Elite Academy with a 1-1 split. The game number 2 victory for IG.
It's still really good that they picked up the points, but IG still getting the game. If they lost this one, they would have found themselves in a really tough spot in the standings. But they actually win it, and they are safe right there at the 6th place, but they were nowhere near to getting higher. But actually LGD, they will be playing the other game against EDG, such a monstrous enemy right there. So, well, IG versus LGD in the standings right now, that is the big fight.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and check out those standings. After a 1-1 split, it'll be World Elite Academy who tie their score versus Young Glory at the bottom. And with a 1-game victory in there, it'll be 1 point closer to LGD. LGD are looking to pull away from the pack, though, as they will take on they'll take on EDG, try to flip-flop those standings. They're only 1 point apart in the standings, as LGD will face off, of course, in a best-of-2 versus Edward Gaming. That'll be coming up next. A lot on the line. Of course, if these teams split 1-1, then they stay exactly where they are. Of course, Edward then will be tying Starhorn up there. But LGD, with a 2-0 sweep, could steal that 3rd place spot from Edward Gaming and actually go 1 point positive and jump ahead of Starhorn Royal Club. That'd be a huge move from LGD. They got a long way to go. So we'll be back. Keep in mind, this is going to be a little bit of a longer break. It'll be about an hour in between sets 1 and 2. I think actually during this time in the LPL, they do a bunch of like fancy giveaways. They switch out the teams. They try to get everything back to where it's supposed to be. So it will be a little bit of a longer break. We'll see if we can get some great video action coming your way. So stick around. Hope you guys enjoyed the first series. If you did, we'd love to hear about it. Use the hashtag LPL to share your tweets, and I'd love to talk to you guys about this as well. So thank you so much for watching. We'll be back in about an hour for our 2nd best-of-2 series between LGD and Edward Gaming. Crushes World Elite Academy in their tracks. But WEA Academy kept pressing in onto turrets, onto global advantages, and on Dragon number 3, that is where the game completely turned around. With SMLZ left free to DPS from the back, World Elite Academy would win a team fight that will snowball into a Baron, into 2 second-tier turrets in the top and mid lane, another few kills, and ultimately, second Baron into what would win them the game. Incredible play by not only SMLZ from the AD carry role, but you have to look to Khan in the top lane. And even Mickey God to some extent with his split pushing, but Khan honestly, was just way too OP up top. Even knowing like when to leave lane, when to come back in to the duo jungle into the 1v2 lanes, just perfect rotations all around. World Elite Academy, they're looking like a whole nother team, and IG still suffering from many of their shortcomings. We'll see if they can make those back up here in game number 2.
So Khan even got the MVP for his play on Aurelia in the previous game, so that's really, really impressive. He got so many picks out of nowhere. The last one on the Yongsu was just the perfect one. He killed this Trundle without anyone even noticing, because the directed camera didn't even show to us, and that led them to winning the game a little bit early, and that's really good for them. So World Elite Academy, they may want to switch up their comp right now though, because I'm quite sure that IG will go for something else, and maybe the bans won't change, but IG will go for a different comp that will counter the comp that World Elite Academy played with. So actually seeing that Khan is doing so well at this Jax, he's a beast on it, so they ban it. But then he picks an Aurelia and he's so good on it once again. I think that this Aurelia will get denied this time around, and Khan will have to show us something else.
It's going to be interesting to see, as we now are going to hop into picks and Bans. Biggest thing for me here coming into picks and bans, like you said, is that top lane. Khan had 3 bans against him last game. He had Kale, Jax, and a Yasuo. Of course, Gragas was also banned, so big plays being made up there. Grabs the Irelia instead of the Shyvana, which would have been kind of obvious. Goes for the Irelia and the Trundle pick. First Trundle pick in a long time for LPL. Didn't work out. So we're going to look for different picks, but still, with Yangsu, he's filling in for PDD. Keep in mind the split. This PDD did retire. He's got some big shoes to fill in a couple ways, and now Khan is, well, he's filling them better.
Okay, so there's a little bit of a conversation right there in World League Academy. And apparently they can't hear themselves or something. But yeah, the bans are going on, and there's a Lee Sin ban coming out from IG, so no Lee Sin for Soist. And actually
wants to send that Lulu into mid or support, but chances are that is just a straight up Lulu top lane pick, and World League Academy actually calling IG's bluff, giving them the champion they've wanted for so long, but not knowing that they actually will not take it. So big play being made there by World Elite Academy, and that will give them the opportunity to say, hey, if you anything you can do, we can do better. They take away Kids Kog'Maw, they take away Illusions Jarvan the Fourth, and so now World Elite Academy are saying, oh, we're just gonna play the straight up IG comp, see how it works for us.
Alright, so there is this movement speed boost on Lulu already, so they don't need to pick the Zillion for the middle lane to back up Skana.
I like that combo. That combo was cool. It didn't win, but it was still really cool, and Zatai played Zillion like a monster, so I want to see this Kog'Maw pick. It's going to be good in lane versus or I want to see the Corki pick. It's going to be good in lane versus Kog'Maw, but we're just going to see another 1v2 again. I can almost promise you World Elite Academy are going to look for the same thing. They tried a 2v2 versus a Corki. That is not going to be in their favor.
Right, so actually I preferred the Zillion in the comp in the previous game because there was this Kog'Maw on IG's lineup, so it's really good to have a revive on Kog'Maw because he's so immobile. Plus having this Skana back then would have been a really good thing.
对，那我们今天好，我跟你们一起来为草莓加个油吧。好，加油！
Alright, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to game number 2 here of the first best of 2 series between World League Academy and Invictus Gaming. I am Reed Rapid Melton. Of course, with me is NeroIntegrate. We'll be your shoutcasters for tonight. We want to welcome you back to game number 2. Of course, we'll have that coming up your way here in just a minute. And the Chinese commentators right now, they're talking about how their picks from game number 1 may not have been quite as accurate as they would have wanted. Every single one of them picked a 2-0 for IG, and I think a lot of other viewers did too. With World Elite Academy coming out strong in game number 1, we'll see if they can replicate that here coming up in a minute. Of course, as we look towards game number 2, one of the big things I'm going to be looking for is IG's just cohesiveness. What they did in the early phase was just like, all right, if we can stay out, like just wait out World Elite Academy, not lose the early game, we'll come back in the late game and have a stronger team. But World Elite Academy just defied all stereotypes. They said, look, you think that we're weak in the early game and that we have to win it there? We can win it in the mid game. And they won a huge dragon fight. They actually took dragon number 1, and then the second dragon fight was actually a little bit more even. IG actually won that, got the dragon. And they're thinking, hey, we got a big mid-game lead. This
From the Irelia and the Zed in the middle lane, like this Lee Sin was the least impactful of them, in my opinion. He missed some important cues, he missed some important kicks. So I think that this Irelia ban would have been a little bit better for them. And maybe they would try to secure this Lee Sin as a first pick for themselves. But yeah, Illusion decides to play kind of a different jungler. And we have a Thresh last ban, so still Irelia is a possibility for Khan.
Well, it's not even just Irelia. Literally every top laner's open. You gotta ban Gragas here. Like, you can't let can't let Youngsu get his Gragas. Like, that's his thing. Like, Gragas is his jam. If you don't ban it out, then he's just going to go pick it every single time. And even if it's not necessarily the greatest pick, he's so good at it in almost every lane. And this is almost guaranteed a first pick Gragas. Or Lulu, though. Is that... I mean, we didn't see Lulu picked or banned in game number 1. So, what changed here, Nero?
Well, a little bit changed. We'll see in the picks, of course, and it's kind of hard to remember the bans because, of course, the picks you will, but not the bans actually. But yeah, Lulu, I think that it got banned in the previous game.
Coming in here, game 2.
He goes for this Lulu instead of Gragas. That's the most interesting thing.
Yeah, so we know that Gragas is still out there. Youngsu can get it if he